Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, faculty, staff, student, community leaders, and honorable guests. My name is Min Hua Ta. I'm the Dean of the North Beach Chinatown Center. I'm very much looking forward for this event today, and like many of you, I recognize that the chance of meeting and hearing our speaker in person is a rare and extremely valuable opportunity. She is a powerful and well-known Democratic leader of the House of Representatives in the 113th Congress. She served as the first woman speaker of the House and is also the first woman in American history to lead a major political party in Congress and has represented San Francisco, California's 12th district for 26 years.
Thank you very much, Dean Ta. Thank you for your leadership here at this very important part of City College. It's really a personal as well as official honor for me to be here today. I am a big supporter of San Francisco, Community College of San Francisco. I'm honored to be here with Dean Ta, with Raphael Mandelman, a member of the Community College Board of Trustees, with Jeffrey Fang, former student trustee, now at Berkeley, Dr. Fred Chavarria, a faculty member, with Tracy Wheeler, friends of City College, and Supervisor David Chu, President of the board, and in whose district we are today. Where's David? Right there. They're here, David, and with Jenny Lam, Chinese for Affirmative Action. I say that because when they come to the podium, they're just coming right up to the podium. And I want you to know how honored I am to be here with each and every one of them, because they play a very important role in what we're here to say today. I have always been a big supporter of community colleges across our country. It is the link. It is the opportunity. As I was saying to some others, and I said when I spoke at a commencement address a couple of years ago, it's wonderful when someone brags about their child graduating from a prestigious college or university, and I think that's nice. But the real success are these kids, and not kids only, just people coming to the community college in midlife or as a transition or whatever it is. Some of them are raising a family. Some of them are supporting their family. Some of them are second chancers. Heard that beautiful speech about redemption the day I spoke at community college. I didn't make it, someone else made it. It was wonderful. But it's really, the link either to a job or to further education, in your case. And it is really important to our country, to our community, aptly named, and to those individuals. Now we're in a situation where it's really important for us, as others are weighing different equities about the City College, for them to understand what the commitment is from this community at all levels to the community college. There's never been a complaint about the education at the school. That's not the issue. Whatever improvements that need to be made, we're all in need and open to improvement, including the accreditation agency, I might add. So I think that as we, as a community of San Francisco, recognize and take inventory of our strengths, one of them is City College, and you can't pose the questions in such a way to say that this is going to happen unless these things happen, because you make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. What is it, 23% lower enrollment from this year to last year, of even a bigger number if you go 2 years. Where are those students? What is happening in their lives? What difference is it making in our economic growth and the success of people in our community. What does it mean to having that strength in the city and county of San Francisco? It's really, again, as we count our blessings, take inventory, an important part of it. Now, I think, I've had the occasion to be there on many occasions, most recently in November, to speak to Special Trustee and to Dr. Tyler about their view of this, and the roadmap is an important part, and hopefully this is a stop on that roadmap taking us forward. But make no mistake, and I mean that literally and figuratively to the accreditors, make no mistake. Don't you make a mistake in thinking that this isn't of the highest importance, that has a tremendous impact. What does it mean to faculty when they're going to be re-upping if they don't know if the resources are there for a school? What does it mean to students? So we just have a few more days. I know, Dean, you're signing up folks right now, and we're going to go meet some of those folks who are signing up. But let's hope in the next few days we can intensify that sign up, because that is important to those individuals, to their families, to our community, and the rest. So again, I just wanted to share some thoughts. I had a set speech that I was going to make, but I think we can just say, still strong, still committed, still City College. Right. Thank you all for being here and supporting.
I love Nancy Pelosi. I think everyone in this room loves Nancy Pelosi. Thank you so much. I'm Raphael Mandelman. I was elected to the City College Board of Trustees in November of 2012, and needless to say, it's been quite an adventure. I noticed we've been joined by Supervisor Norman Yee. Thank you for coming. Your comments were so great, and I can't overstate how important it is and how grateful we are that you are here, showing your support for City College and your commitment that it stay open and continue to serve San Franciscans as it has since 1935. So, one more round of applause for Nancy Pelosi. I was reminded, standing behind her as she spoke, of the, I think it's an Ann Richards line, about Ginger Rogers doing everything Fred Astaire did except backwards and in heels. And that is Nancy Pelosi and Ann Richards. High heels. And they are high heels. Make no mistake, City College is here to stay. And for that, again, we owe great amounts of gratitude to our leaders, from Leader Pelosi to Congresswoman Spear to City Attorney Dennis Herrera, to the members of our legislative delegation in Sacramento, to the mayor, to the members of our Board of Supervisors, each of whom has worked in their own way to safeguard the future of our City College. But I would be remiss if I didn't take at least a second to celebrate the great victory Dennis Herrera won last week to ensure City College stays open. Thank you, Dennis. But I would be equally remiss if I didn't note the great work and the great sacrifice of those at the college who've worked so diligently over these last 2 extraordinarily difficult years to reform the institution and ensure that going forward it has the administrative and financial foundation it needs to support the great education City College provides. For those interested in tracking the college's rapid and I think remarkable progress in ensuring compliance with accreditation standards, the State Chancellor's Office and the folks of the college have made it possible for us all to do that on the website ccsfforward.com. There's a checklist of 352 items, and the college is well on its way to having met every single one of them. Of course, every community college trustee in California, I'm sure, thinks that their community college is the best. I know that ours is the best. I don't think there's another community college in California that reaches as deeply into as many communities as ours does, providing opportunity not just to people looking for a cost-effective path to a four-year degree, and City College is a great way to get on your path to a four-year degree, but for those looking to learn a trade, to make a mid-career transition, to learn a new language or a new skill, or just to better themselves. From high schoolers to senior citizens, San Franciscans of every age benefit from our City College. And time and again, San Franciscans have demonstrated with our votes and our pocketbooks our commitment to supporting the college and ensuring it has the financial resources to continue its extraordinary work. And that was demonstrated just a little over a year ago. I see Elisa Messer from AFT 2121 and Tim Paulson from the Labor Council, who worked so hard to pass Proposition A by more than 2/3 at a time when there was so much bad news about City College, and that just shows how much this city loves CCSF. So the fight to save CCSF is not over, it's far from over, but it's a fight we're winning, and with continued commitment from those at the college and continued vigilance by organizations like Chinese for Affirmative Action and Friends of City College, and continued fortitude from our elected officials, we cannot fail. So please enroll in a class. You help the college by doing that. Everybody enroll in a class. And thank you again, Leader Pelosi.
Good morning. My name is Jeffrey Fang. I'm a former student trustee for this great institution. It was, for 2 years, it's been the greatest honor in my life so far to be serving on the board of trustees alone to help the students, to voice the students' needs. And it is easy to understate the value of City College. It is easy to say community college is a feeder school to four-year for people who wants to get a four-year but they can't do it just yet. But it is also way too easy to overlook the importance of this institution to the community and to the transformation it does on lives.
Good morning. Happy New Year. I'm Fred Chavarria. And a wise man once said that the journey of 1,000 years begins with a single step. My educational and career journey began many years ago following my discharge from the United States Marine Corps at the age of 20. Despite my parents' best efforts and hard work, they couldn't really not afford to send me to a four-year school. Consequently, like so many of our students, I was self-supporting, and if I wanted to attend school, I had to work. I managed to find a job, and with the aid of the GI Bill, I began my educational career at City College. I worked hard at school, balancing both my budding academic career and a new job as a part-time juvenile hall counselor. When I finally completed 60 units, I was transferred to San Francisco State University, and I was promoted to a full-time job at juvenile hall. 2 years later, I graduated from San Francisco State, which qualified me to take the promotional exam to become a probation officer, and later I was appointed to a deputy probation officer. Subsequently, I earned a master's degree and was hired by the United States courts and assigned to the Northern District of California as a federal probation and parole officer. Well, with federal probation, the educational spark that was ignited at City College continued to burn, and it burned brightly. And I began working towards my PhD in correctional administration and management. When I retired from federal probation with a newly minted PhD, I was fortunate enough to be hired by City College as a full-time instructor in the administration of justice. Subsequently, I was chair of that department for 6 years. I then became dean of the School of Behavioral and Social Sciences. And after serving for 3 years in that position, I elected to return to the classroom and my passion and the nobility of teaching. I want to impress on you that my story is not unique and I'm not special. I am merely one example of the return on investment that the taxpayers of California supported by ensuring that public education is both affordable and accessible. Not only has City College been a huge part of my life, but for the past 75 years, it has been an important part of the San Francisco landscape. And the literally thousands and thousands of students just like me who began or will begin their journey at City College, a godsend. The people of San Francisco and the Bay Area should take pride in City College because of it's an educational institution of exceptional quality, and it has a value beyond its buildings and campuses. Its value is in the generations of students whose lives were and will forever be transformed as a result of them making that first step in their journey. Looking back, I can state with certainty that had City College not been here for me, none of what I have described would have happened. But thankfully, City College was here, and I'm privileged to be here today to share my story. And one more thing, remember that City College is a jewel in the crown of the city that knows how. Thank you.
Nothing about this time in higher education is business as usual. What City College is going through is a result of the pressures on our educational structures as they are asked to deliver more for less. This is clearly a defining moment of important exploration and affirmation for the college. This is also a moment when the community must look at itself and its values. If we believe, as the overwhelming passage of Proposition A in November 2012 clearly indicates we do, that City College is a unique institution that should serve the uniquely broad needs of our community, we need to find creative solutions to the very real financial and managerial challenges facing the school. We need to form better partnerships between the college and the private sector to leverage the technology, systems, and best practices that make the Bay Area an engine of innovation and prosperity. We need to ask our renowned advertising agencies to create marketing campaigns that celebrate the richness and diversity of opportunity City College affords. We need to develop leaders who not only steer City College in the right direction, but advocate on a national level for an expansive vision of community education that respects all learners, from those who intend to transfer, to those who want to add their skills and talents to our vibrant local community, to those who simply want to understand their world more deeply. We need to help businesses hire our graduates. But we need to do this with a keen attention to the values of a public institution.
Good morning. I'm David Chu, the district supervisor representing the Northeast neighborhoods, and I want to welcome you to Chinatown. And I also want to take a moment and just thank all of you for being part of an amazing community. I want to thank the students and the faculty and the administrators. I want to thank our labor leaders. I want to thank our community leaders, our elected officials, and of course I want to thank Leader Pelosi, although I do hope, Leader Pelosi, in 10 months we'll be able to call you again Speaker Pelosi. We stand here at this space on hallowed ground, and I'm not just referring to the fact that this is the block that the International Hotel fell and rose on. I'm talking about the fact that in the 1970s, when City College understood that there were a huge number of immigrants that needed continuing education, City College decided at that time to rent a classroom on Filbert Street in North Beach. And over 30 years, there were 30 different sites that were cobbled together to educate our students here in the Northeast. And years ago, community leaders came together with the administration to say, we needed to build this campus. And tens of thousands of folks came together, and I see leaders in the back of the room. I want to just take a moment and thank Professor Ling-Chi Wang and Henry Durr and Vincent Pan and so many of you that came today because we know that we stand on hallowed ground. And we know that it is so important for this institution to continue. City College is important not just for the continuing education of all of us here in our city, not just for the fact that, as a Board of Supervisors study showed, $300 million a year are pumped into our local economy, but the future leadership, the future generations of San Francisco rest on this institution. And we also know that we are in the midst of an affordability crisis. And during a crisis, it is so important, if you are a low-income student trying to break into the workforce, if you're trying to start a restaurant, if you're trying to get a job at a trades union or at a local tech company, if you're trying to become a firefighter, if you're an adult trying to get your GED, or if you are part of a new generation of immigrants trying to learn English, this is your school. On the topic of immigrant students, we know that this is an institution that has trained literally tens of thousands of students to become part of our fabric of who we are as a community. We have to make sure that City College stays open for them and needs to stay open for all of our immigrant students, regardless of immigrant status. Now, let me tell you, if we don't figure this out, San Francisco is going to become a different city. So I will say, I want to just repeat, we are still strong. We are still committed. We are still City College. I am happy and I am proud to join the voices of optimism and support. We have work to do, but we're going to get our work done, and we, as a community, are going to make sure that we save City College. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jenny Lamb, the Director of Programs at Chinese for Affirmative Action. For Chinese for Affirmative Action, we've seen two distinctive paths transpire to address the crisis facing City College. First is accreditation. City College administrators and faculty continue to address and improve governance and strengthen fiscal controls. And the hiring of a permanent chancellor and filling key vice chancellor positions will provide the much needed stability leadership for the college. Administrators are also pursuing the commission's formal review and appeal process. However, we demand that the commission acknowledge the tremendous progress that has been made by City College. And it is our right for the college to get a fair chance, and it's time the commission makes a new decision. And what the college has been through in the last 2 years is breaking the community, and the college, they say they are trying to help. The accreditation has the power to change its decision now, and it's time to stabilize City College so we can move City College forward to a lasting future. The second pathway is legal action, and we like to thank San Francisco City Attorney Dennis Herrera and our labor partners for filing lawsuits and raising important questions about transparency and clarity from the Accreditation Commission. And this should continue and help protect the college through the courts, and only more sunshine and light can help. And even with both approaches, much work lies ahead. In light of accreditation crisis, the financial stabilization of the college needs immediate attention. The accreditation crisis has created detrimental effects on student enrollment. The numbers are staggering. We've heard earlier that within 2 years, the college would have lost nearly a quarter of its student enrollment. And the loss of student enrollment equals a loss of tens of millions of dollars next fiscal year, which is only 6 months away. So Move City College and Chinese for Affirmative Action, we're calling our state elected officials and public officials, including the state chancellor, the state legislature, and Governor Brown, to include funds in the upcoming state budget to stabilize City College's funding. Without stabilization funds, City College won't be able to cut its way out of the spiraling financial loss, no matter how strong of a marketing campaign to try and raise student enrollment. We all have a role in making City College of San Francisco continue to live out its mission.
Hi, everybody. I just came here really to be supportive of City College. As some of you may know, City College, the Ocean Campus, is in my district, and I live within walking distance of it. But I'm also here because I was a former student of City College. In fact, if it weren't for City College, I wouldn't be standing here addressing you today. And I ended up actually being an instructor for City College for 10 years in this campus, not here, this building, but when President Chu was mentioning the 30 or so sites that were all throughout the community, I actually helped open up probably about 6 of them while I was a teacher here. So because of my experience and my history with City College, and I know firsthand what it means to this community, not only to immigrants, but people like myself who were born here. And we could go on and on about giving examples of students that have utilized City College to be successful. And this in the past, in the future, in the present, as Jeffrey Fang is a good example of what we see coming through City College and what it gives to the city. The city wants City College. The city supports City College. And I'm glad to be able to be a local elected, joining not only state elected, but federal elected officials to continue to support City College. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Norman. I think that our distinguished guest made a very compelling case from their experience, their knowledge, and their hopes for the future for City College. We have an expression in Congress. I wish to associate myself with their remarks, certainly with the remarks of the dean, and thank her for her tremendous leadership. She has an increasing enrollment at this campus. Congratulations to you, Dean. Raphael laid out very clearly some of the progress that is being made. Jeffrey Fang shared his personal story with us in such a compelling way, and when he talked about professors caring, it was so beautiful. And then Dr. Chavarria made that clear to us in his experience at the college, and now his giving back to the students in such an important way. Tracy Wheeler made it clear it's not just about going on to another school, it's about going into a vocation, into the workforce. David Chu, when you were speaking, David, about the International Hotel and the rest, looking back, and I see Lisa Jakes is here many times with her father, Agar, and she's been a champion for, she and Peter have been such champions, but I was remembering going back decades, Norman, you weren't probably even born yet, but Reverend Fong, thank you for bringing the voice of the faith community. We would be in Portsmouth Square looking over at the International Hotel and lobbying on that issue. How many decades ago? I guess many of you weren't even born. Maybe you were in kindergarten at the time. But no, I guess not. I don't see it. But it was a big, long haul. And now to be standing here and looking back there, it's just about the word in this college community. I also want to associate myself with the remarks of Congresswoman Jackie Spear and Anna Eshoo, who had a press conference a while back. So you know that this is a commitment of the California delegation, and of course I sing the praises of Dennis Herrera for making the case, succeeding with the case, giving us time. So with the appeal and with the case, you know, the appeal in terms of accreditation and the case, we have time. And we cannot underutilize any resource, and we cannot underutilize that time. I think that there might be some questions for all of you, since you were very specific in your presentations, and we maybe can take a couple of questions from the press on why we're here, why it's important to us, and why we will succeed, not underutilizing any resources, not time, not education, not the beautiful City College, San Francisco. Yes, sir.
Hi there, Joe Fitzgerald from the Bay Guardian. You've announced that you're aligning yourself with Representative Spear and Eshoo. So what are the concrete next steps for reforming the ACCJC, and what can you do specifically to reform the ACCJC?
Well, it's a very interesting question, and some of you have posters to that effect. I've learned a lot about what we can or cannot do, because we thought, well, the Department of Education can do thus and so, but they really can't. It's a very independent, it's independent of the Department of Education. But we can subject this process to the scrutiny that I believe that it should have. We care about what happens in the rest of the country, that's for sure, but we think that what happened here is highly unusual. And while the law doesn't give the Department of Education, and that would be the agency that we have any say over, any discretion, maybe it should. And we really have to look at that because for whatever reason, the process that we're engaged in now can be a downward spiral, but for the enthusiasm, the energy, the idealism, the determination of the people of our community not to make it so. But you can be sure that it will be subjected to really harsh scrutiny in terms of how they do, what they do, who they are, and why is it that the Department of Education cannot do more. But Jackie, Congresswoman Spear and Congresswoman Eshoo, Congressman George Miller, who's our top Democrat on the Education Committee, I don't want to say this is a good thing to come of it, but the fact is this is one thing that has come of it that maybe make an improvement for not only our community college, but community colleges across the country.
So to be clear, does that mean a hearing on the Department of Education?
Let's see what is recommended when we go there. There are conversations that are going back and forth on it. But suffice to say, it's not something that will be ignored. In fact, it will be focused on, and it is a challenge to change the law, but also to make something good, come of it. And I thank you for your question.
Well, given that perhaps other colleagues can speak to the actual appeal and review process, go ahead, Raphael.
Well, I think we believe based on the Department of Education letter last year in August, finding that there had been significant problems with the review of City College, and based on the additional information that's we're becoming aware of through the lawsuits, I think that we think that the review of City College was flawed from inception and should be done over. And the ACCJ, and this is my position. That the review should be done over. It's going back to July of 2012. They should take a look at the college, and I am sure that if they looked at the college now, they would find that it is in compliance with accreditation standards and is actually doing better than many other community colleges in a number of ways.
The other thing is, just to enlarge the issue beyond the specific right this moment, when City College was accredited before, they did not give a bill of particulars to say this is where you are weak. So all of a sudden, the next time they come up with this. So it's really important for there to be, again, the transparency you discussed, as well as some responsibility on the part of the creditors to say, if we say it's okay, then we have some responsibility to say, this is where there's some weaknesses that you have to act upon. But I also hope that the accreditors will take heed of what Raphael said and what Jenny said earlier about the whole list, pages long, of improvements and progress that has been made, improvements that have been made. So I think we're in a pretty strong place now with the time, with the lawsuit, thank you, Dennis Herrera, with the appeal on the accreditation, giving us more time, that if we're all of goodwill on this, it should turn out just fine. But again, as they approach, they should do so with a level of respect that says, we're saying yes now, and then a few years from now, we're going to say, but you never improved those things that we thought you were weak on before, which we never suggested to you were a challenge. And again, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you have fewer students because they have uncertainty as to whether the school's going to be open, and therefore you have fewer funds from the state, it's just not, it just isn't responsible for them to be as, shall we say, I don't want to say frivolous because maybe they don't view it that way, but to weigh all of the equities in a decision that they have. So much is at stake personally for the individuals who attend and their families. And again, we view from a congressional standpoint community colleges as a source of tremendous strength for our country. As has been mentioned in many cases, these are addressing immigrant populations, even if the person themselves is not an immigrant, but from an immigrant family, because that is the lifeblood of America. That is who we are, the constant reinvigoration of America. And education, the value of community, of education, of family values, and the rest is so important to strengthen our country. And why would we come at this place and weaken that source of strength for us? So it's very exciting, and I'm very disappointed that we have to go through this. But the fact is, we have to come out stronger, still strong, still committed, still City College.
You are so good.
Last question.
Hi, Alex Lamb from the City College Guardsmen. I was wondering, what brought you out today, and why is this your first time speaking in front of us?
Well, I have been, City College is a special, what can I call it, resource to our community. I've had the privilege of speaking there, to be there for opening of one thing or another, whether it's a health clinic or the rest in different places around town. And so some of us got together earlier and said, what can we do to bring as much visibility in the right timing? And that's what we concluded, that today would be really an important time. It also is a day that Congress is not in session, so I can't pick and choose the days that I can be here. But we thought that in terms of some of the decisions that are being made, to once again, and there are other people who had come out, Congresswoman Eshoo, Congresswoman Spear, and the rest, and this is rather than all of us coming the same day, a reinforcement of it. But I think everybody knows I love community college at San Francisco Community College, and it is, as I said earlier when I started, it's an official, but it's personal as well with me. So I'm honored to be here today. We chose this day because of the timing of everything else, and because Congress was not in session, and it gave us an opportunity not just to hear from me, but more importantly, to hear from our elected officials, our leadership of the Community College Board of Trustees, of community people who worked on this issue and appreciate what the community college is about.